We're heading back to the Central Age of Viking era. Today we're gonna be the raiders of the North Seas. Let's get on board and get ready to raid some village. How do you play this game? First of all, there's two areas on the map, the settlements and to raid and the village where you can hire crew members, get more silver, more provision, basically prepping for the raid. Rule of thumb in this game is you always start your turn with one worker and end your turn with one worker as well. If you are in the village, you place down your worker, then you activate the area, you just put your worker down, and then you pick up another worker, then you activate the second area as well. While raiding the village, while raiding the settlement, you put down your worker, you pay the requirements of the settlements, and then you get the resource if you meet the requirements, and then you gain the workers of that settlement. So in this case, I gain the great workers. The requirements are usually provisions, which indicate by these provisions, and the black card means the higher crew member. Let's talk about the crew members. This is the members that you can hire for your crew. It has two things, the black thing at the bottom left and the blue thing at the bottom right. The black thing bottom left with the cross, it indicates a permanent effect as long as this guy is hired in front of the table for you. The blue thing with the triangle indicates the one-time effect that you will play from your hand to discarded pile. The maximum number of crew members you can have on your team is only 5, and there's a handy card that summarizes what you can do, the number, like for instance, max high crew 5, and the maximum amount of cards and silver and provision you can have is only 8. So the sum of cards, silver, and provisions are only 8 in the game. So, sorry, the hoarders, there's no hoarding in this game. The game will end when there's no more offerings for the god, or you finish the Valkyrie, like there's no Valkyrie on the board, or there's only one fortress left to raid. Then everyone will play one last round. There are so many good things to talk about this game. First, let's talk about the quality of the component. The component has a lot of good quality, especially with different card, and the cardboard the blade board is also thick as well. And as you can see, the visualization, the requirements are very clear. Like this, the yellow banner is victory points, the red is the armory, and wherever it indicates like this, it indicates like, oh, only these two workers can go here. If it doesn't say anything, then everyone can go here. The visualization is pretty clear what it's supposed to do or what it does. Another thing that I like about this game is, of course, is the place and pick mechanism. That you play something, you will always pick something. So that you, at the end of the turn, you will always have one worker on your hand. This is a very creative way for worker placement. It's not like the normal worker placement that we always play. Another one is the crew gathering or hiring crew member. Hiring crew member is very nice because depending on the person that you hire, it will dictate your strategy or your tactics for the game. For instance, if you're thinking of raiding like pressure the early game, then you can hire the warmonger. You will gain 1 extra victory when raiding the harbor. However, if you're thinking of more of a long-term strategy, then you can hire Seal Maiden, gain 1 victory points when raiding the monastery. Some of this, the more crew member you hire, the stronger your team will be, obviously. And some of them even give you extra benefit at the end of the game, or also certain settlements. 5 is good enough because it makes you think about you have to also somehow increase this as well, the extra armor, to go and raid the other area. And it's not too less or it's not too much, so that it keeps the game balanced well. Another thing that I like is we have different tier for settlement. As you can see, the harbor is the easiest, and then when you go into the land, you will see the outpost. Of course, that's where the outpost is. and you see the monastery, and you see the fortress. The game with different settlement, it comes with different strategy and resource. Like for instance, when you raid out the harbor, you only gain like very minimal victory points because it's easier. And when you raid the fortress, it's harder. That's why you gain more victory points. But because it's a fortress, so you gain less resource, which makes total sense. One thing that I don't like about the game is the team. Like I said, I have no idea who I am in this game. What am I? The game doesn't say. Basically, the game just saying that I would try to impress a chieftain by raiding. But who am I? Am I a certain specific hero? Or just a random dude with tons of money to start recruiting? Like, there's no theme on the background. And the game also doesn't say, who are these people? Why are they black? Why are they gray? Why are they white? Why are they different? There's a little bit of disconnect in the theme of what these three people do. However, the best part about the thing that I enjoy the most from this game is replayability. Why? Because every time you set up, the board will be totally different. The worker that you will gain from raiding is the same, but the resource at the certain specific settlement is different. So like the strategy or the tactics have to keep changing. Depends on are you gonna have enough iron to go up on the armor, or you will start raiding so that your people can die so you can go up to Valkyrie. Well, it totally depends on how the board set up. And that's it for Raiders of the North Seas. I hope you will enjoy raiding. Let's go Vikings!